We count on official documents to tell us the truth, right? The whole story. But what happens when one stack of papers paints a picture of a model employee and another suggests something else entirely? Well, today we're diving headfirst into a case just like that.
So let's start at the end, or what looks like the end. It's October 14, 2024. After a solid 25 years on the job, Captain Wilton Collins is retiring. His boss, Sheriff David Davis, even sends him off with this really warm letter praising his valuable service. I mean, on the surface, this is the perfect storybook ending to a long and dedicated career. But as you're about to see, this story is far from over.
Okay, so let's dig into that official story. We're going to walk through the documents that, according to the Sheriff's Office, defined Captain Collins' career. We're talking about his official personnel file.
And boom, right at the top of that file, you see this, his 2024 performance review, a perfect 4.0. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. The official rating, outstanding.
And it's not just about the numbers. The comments from his supervisor, they really paint a picture of a top-tier officer. He's called a great asset, someone with a wealth of knowledge. According to this piece of paper, he's exactly the kind of guy you'd want serving your community.
And you can really see this upward trend when you just look back 1 year. See, in his 2023 review, there are a few notes for improvement. Take more training, stay current on the law. But fast forward to 2024, that section is totally blank. Nothing noted. The story here is clearly one of an officer who took feedback to heart and just perfected his performance. And listen, the praise just keeps coming. His file is filled with good stuff. He gets recognized by a local community group, he's handpicked for this prestigious leadership program, and then, just a couple of months before he retires, he's completely cleared of any fault in a work-related accident. The official record is just consistently positive.
Okay, now, to be fair, the official file isn't completely spotless. There is one little disciplinary mark from back in 2022. It's for violating Policy 660.1, which is called unbecoming conduct. Basically, that covers anything an employee does that reflects poorly on the sheriff's office.
So for that violation, which had to do with his social media, he got a 2-day suspension. But again, you got to look at the timeline here. This was way back in early 2022. And given that perfect review he got in 2024, the file really frames this as a past mistake, right? An issue that was handled and he moved on from it.
So there you have it. That's the official story. It's consistent, it's positive, it's a career to be proud of. But what if it's not the whole story? What happens when a completely different set of documents surfaces, telling a totally different tale?
And now we're going to flip the script. We're turning to the unofficial file. And trust me, this is where the picture changes, dramatically. We're about to look at some serious allegations that exist completely outside of his official record.
Things get weird fast. It all starts with this, a sworn statement on a government application. On it, Collins allegedly claims that he's employed by the Department of Veterans Affairs. And this isn't some offhand comment. We're talking about a formal signed declaration. And I mean, look at the details here. This isn't just a vague claim. He allegedly provides the actual address for the VA regional office, a very specific job title, Assistant Fiscal Officer, a precise salary, $93,000, and he claims this job goes all the way back to 2005.
So how would you even check something like this? Well, the source material lays out this really clever strategy. Because the VA is a federal agency, employee salaries are public record. So first you search the public database. If the name isn't there, you take the next step. You request an official certificate of non-existence of record from the government, which is literally a document that proves he never worked there.
So why is this so serious? Well, according to Georgia law, knowingly making a false statement on a matter like this isn't just a little white lie. It's a potential felony.
But wait, there's more. The questions don't stop there. A second document alleges that Captain Collins violated his oath by presenting a false affidavit to a judge. That's a document used to get an arrest warrant. And that raises an entirely different set of really serious questions about his conduct.
So, where does all this leave us? We're left with two completely opposing narratives, two totally different versions of the same man, told by two different sets of paper. I mean, just look at these two documents right next to each other. On the left, you have the official record from 2024 praising his vast wealth of job knowledge. On the right, you have an allegation that he used that very knowledge to present a false affidavit to a judge.
The decorated officer and the alleged deceiver. How can both of these stories possibly be true?
And that really brings us to the biggest question of this whole explainer. When the paper trail splits down the middle, when one set of documents is screaming hero and another is screaming liar, how do we ever know what's real? When the official record is at war with these unofficial truths, who gets to decide the final story?